What's up, what's up, what's up? Everybody look up, watch out. It's Keep Up with Still Vinsane and Osla Malo. Actually, it's to my right when I bring it out on YouTube. Let's get into some motherfucking topics.
What the fuck happened?
And sorry, guys, I missed the intro. I just want to introduce you guys to my co-host. His name is Osla Malo, Oscar Maradiaga. We also have our executive producer, Harry Attilio, Mr. Joubert, Mr. Uncle Harry. We also have an engineer moderator. We have John Estrella. He has Thundercat.ttv. That is with a Thundercat John.ttv. That is on Twitch. Again, we will be premiering that very soon, our live episodes on Twitch. But like I said, what the fuck happened? Right now, fresh on the brain, we try to be as current as possible. Lead us the way with Rayshard Brooks, Oscar.
I started watching this last night, and it was all over CNN. What happened on Friday night at the Wendy's, and you don't want to watch these videos, but they're on your phone constantly. They're on the TV. And when I first saw it, I just couldn't believe it, I get it. The man, the guy ran away from the two cops. He was in a scuffle with them. Then he ran off with one of their tasers, and then they shot him in a parking lot full of people, witnesses. And you just get to see everything that's happening right now. And it's just really sad, I honestly couldn't fall asleep for a little bit just thinking about it. I had to get my mind off of it by trying to watch something else because it's just a tough pill to swallow when it just keeps happening over and over. And I honestly, I don't blame the people that are going out there and destroying these corporations right now because of what's going on. They kill another black man in cold blood, and we just have to watch it on TV. And who knows if something
corporations can do something. I don't know what they can do, but if you look at my shirt, maybe you can find a suggestion. Anyway, I totally agree with you, Oscar. It's becoming so. It's already become tiring, and that's why people are flooding the streets. That's why people are breaking down Christopher Columbus statues, Robert E. Lee statues. I hope they replace it with some Native American statues, some Mexican art, some Medgar Evers. The death of him just happened. He was murdered many years ago. His anniversary of his murder. He was an advocate. Martin Luther King Jr., there's not enough statues of him. The real people, even the real civil rights activists, even the real abolitionists, we talked about fuck Wendy's and their spicy nuggets, by the way. But Harriet Tubman, we don't have enough about that. We don't have Sacagawea. We don't have Pocahontas. We make fun of Pocahontas, but she's a real figure in Native American history. So only the whites, and for some reason, only the white losers are the ones that get Confederate statues around the country.
Yeah, and
we talked about why, and most of it, like I said, is because of during the Jim Crow era, blacks were going to school, they were going to universities, and that was a great way to scare them off, putting Confederate soldiers, people of the Confederacy, in order to fucking scare them off. But to talk back on Rayshard Brooks, yes, you're not supposed to take someone's taser. Let's get that out the way. That's not supposed to happen. But if you defund the police, they don't have military style weapons. And to be honest, no cop should have a taser. I don't understand why they have tasers to begin with. So I'm not even for cops having guns. They're there to de-escalate the situation. They're not, anytime a gun is around with cops, it just becomes a shootout. They're not saving anybody. There's more lives that get lost because there's an extra gun there. In my opinion, I've seen data. I've seen these just as much as you on TV, and I'm just tired of it. So Rayshard Brooks, to encapsulate, he was on a drive-through line at a fast food restaurant. He was not sober. He was intoxicated, I believe, on alcohol. He struggled with the police for 30 minutes. Then he ran away with the taser, and they shot him in the back. Again, we bring back to Dylan Roof. This guy at point blank range was in a church with other black people and shot them, and they still brought him unscathed, not even a scratch on him. And he was able to walk out of there killing multiple black people while they were praying. So if you could do that, If you can do that, if you can take this little white guy and freaking, subdue him, you can do the same thing for black citizens. Thank you. Independent poll dancers, McLaughlin and Associates. We're McLaughlin all the way. Trump was not happy with CNN having Joe Biden up by 25%. So he got someone to do a poll for him. And everybody laughed at him because it was just a full fucking essay just berating everybody on the Democratic side, CNN, whatever. Hilarious. So if you don't like a poll, Oscar, if you don't like how stats are viewing you out there, stop looking down, motherfucker. If you don't like how things are going, go get somebody to do a poll for you. Oscar, what's going on with Starbucks? Well,
Starbucks, there's so many around the world. People wanted to start wearing pins or things that symbolize Black Lives Matter. And at first they said, I believe they said no to it, and now they went back on it, and now people can, and we talked about this earlier, and it's, if, even these big corporations, if you're letting them do that, now, more people are going to come out, and who knows, maybe we're going to get people out there with more MAGA hats.
That I don't even have to touch on that too much, Oscar. You're right. You said exactly what I was thinking. I'm a very political person. So to be honest, unless all political factions are in Starbucks, which would be super annoying, it would dilute their brand. It would bankrupt them because it would just be a hodgepodge of banners everywhere. So it opens the gate for MAGA hats. And if I'm paying $20 for a venti latte, I don't want to see MAGA while I'm buying that shit, sugar and milk all of my fucking coffee. 5 facts about Abe Lincoln. You know why we have to say that, guys? Because every Republican out there, including Trump on Twitter said, I am the best president. I have done more for blacks and the African Americans than almost better than Abe Lincoln. He says almost. I don't want to misquote Mr. Trump. I don't want to misquote him. But let's get 5 facts about the white savior, Abe Lincoln. Lincoln was not an abolitionist. He was not. He had to be convinced several times by the Union in order to free slaves.
Did I know that?
Yes. He knew they had to be free, but he never viewed them as equal. Lincoln did not believe black people should have the same rights as white people. He did not believe in intermarriage. He did not believe in voting rights. He did not believe blacks could own property. He did believe that if you were free, though, you were able to enjoy the same fruits as being free. But if you can't vote,
not really.
you're not free. So, number 3, Lincoln thought colonization could resolve the issue of slavery. So if you don't know what colonization is, it means it's basically either colonizing an area like savages or something like that, or setting up your own separate colony. So what Benjamin Franklin a long time ago and Thomas Jefferson, they did not believe in slavery either, even though they owned slaves. They were on the same link as Abraham Lincoln, his evolved states. And they believed that even though there should not be slavery, whites and blacks could not coexist. So Abe Lincoln's solution was to send all the blacks that were freed to Liberia. That was his suggestion. And people in the Union were like, but Abe, some of these blacks are here longer than you. What do you mean send them to another country? Especially a country, again, Africa, obviously we're descendants of Africa, but no black person knows that much about Liberia. They know about America. America's their home. So thank you, Abe. Thank you for that suggestion. We appreciate it. We'd all be speaking some Liberian language right now if he had his way. Emancipation was a military policy. It was. He wouldn't have won the war without freeing the slaves. That was the number one tactic. The South was gonna be economically deprived without it, and they knew that. And that was a big sticking point. So anybody that tries to say that a Confederacy that only lasted 5 years is part of their history, they can go fuck themselves. Mm-hmm. And the last, the Emancipation Proclamation didn't actually free all enslaved people. No, there were at least 7 states, including Kentucky and Virginia, that did not free their slaves. So who the fuck did he free? And they didn't ratify it for another 10 years either. So why are we giving so much credence to him, Oscar? Could you tell me?
Wow. It's about a nobody knows this. These are all facts that are out there. Nobody talks about them. They're only going to sugarcoat whatever they think is the most important fact, which is everybody thinks he freed the slaves, even including myself before you told me all these 5 facts. So, it just goes to show you we're not educated enough from going to school, wherever we go, what we read. So it's our job to make known what's going on out there.
I figured out why. So the white man could look good. White man writes the history books.
There you go, Harry.
Way to go, Harry. You're right. Hit it on the head. Real quick, Karen's going wild. We've seen many videos of Karen's going wild. They're going buck. They don't like Asians working out in the park. They don't like Mexicans at 7-Eleven. I don't even know if she was Mexican, but she gave her a nice slap before she could even tell her to go back to her country. I love that. I saw another video of this black woman beating up another neighbor because she was trying to take a hammer to somebody's car. Kudos to her. I don't know her name, but she roughed her the fuck up. Keep doing it, America. Fuck up all the Karens. They're fucking lame.
Just another one in Astoria where a woman went in there with no mask.
Oh, yeah.
People were telling her to get out, and what did she do? She goes and coughs in or spits in somebody's face. And hey, Twitter's already exposed her, so.
Yo, she needs to go fuck with the Bagel Boss. They need to go on a date together. They're fucking nasty ass motherfuckers. Anyway, to cap this off real quick, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, 40 seasons of that show, and there's only been one black lady. 2017. Her name is, I had to write it down because I didn't remember because I don't watch that show at all. Even though our old co-host, Jamie, Oscar replaced Jamie, that's her favorite show. And we talked about it before, and I was like, how are you not outraged about this, that there's not that many colored people on the show? And she's like, it's like cocaine. It's like heroin. Like, I love the show, and I do it mostly for the tweets, the live tweets. I'm like, that's not a good excuse. Sorry. So anyway, Matt James is the new Bachelor. The Bachelorette was Rachel Lindsay. She's the only black female contestant. He will also be the only black male contestant I think the show started in 2002. And now we have our first black male. And this has gone on for 40 seasons one more time. And also since 2002. That is horrendous. They should be fucking ashamed of themselves, but they have no reason to feel ashamed of themselves because they're from the land of the free.
That's horrible. That's horrible. We were in 10th grade when that show started.
Yeah, fuck that show. I never gave a shit about that show. Put a cock in your mouth instead of a rose. Anyway, so Chrissy Teigan took out her boobs, her implants. We want to talk about that real quick because that's actually pretty common. A lot of people get implants, and it just becomes bothersome over the years. You become a mother, whatever the case may be. There's all types of reasons to just, make a little downsize. And a little comparison, there are people who get rid of it for cancer reasons too. Angelina Jolie, you can have the gene, the cancerous gene, and the proactive thing to do is cut out your boobs. How do you feel about that, Oscar? We're boob people. We're part of the boob community.
Honestly, it's something I've seen around just even people that I've been around at work where they've had to go through these procedures, and I give a lot of credit to these women who have gone through all these things because it's something they have to do to protect themselves, and all for the best.
Great, yeah. Kudos to Chrissy Teigan. Go live your best life. Go be comfortable, girl. Motherhood is stressful, man. You gotta be comfy doing it. And shout out to Angelina Jolie, one of the best actresses out there. Boobless, but she's also cancer-free.
La 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 la. What the fuck did I hear?
And my cohorts on this show do not listen to Run the Jewels. I'm so disappointed in them. I just had to say, 4 albums of pure dopeness. Killer Mike is the man, and so is LP. If you have watched Ozark and you watch the very end of it, and whatever, no spoiler, but if you watch the very end of it, they play a song by them. Both of you, I guarantee you, once you start listening to their catalog, you're going to feel embarrassed because you'll be like, damn, I did know their songs. Because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They collaborate with a lot of people. And the uniqueness about them is, like I said, they're white and black. LP is Jewish. Killer Mike from Georgia, from the Dungeon family, from Outkast, all that good stuff. Bernie Sanders campaign. They're just impeccable. So the new album is fire. They got a song with 2 Chainz. Really, really good. Go check that out. Oscar, talk to me about Trollz.
Oh, this is an embarrassment.
I know. How do you follow up and Run the Jewels and then you get Tekashi fucking Butt 9? Like, what's going on here?
I can't even say that name and fully. I just won't. He's just he's a dumbass and comes out with another single with Nicki Minaj and
sell out Nicki Minaj. Damn it.
And you know she's on the same wavelength as him. She wants to troll people and be on a song with him. I heard something about she goes at somebody on the song or makes a mention of Lisa Ray in the song. Lisa Ray.
Oh, you mean the Players Club?
Yeah.
Okay. We be clubbing.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan. Skip. Not gonna give that video. I know they have a video too. Not gonna give it any viewership.
I will one day, but I wasn't in a rush.
Yeah, neither am I.
I love seeing train wrecks for some reason. Surfaces. I don't think you guys listen to them either. They're amazing. There's these 2 white guys, I think from the Georgia area as well. I think. At least some like mid area of America. And they have a new song called Learn to Fly with Elton John. Elton John is retired on tour now. He doesn't do any tours. He's taking care of his 2 boys with his partner. And but he still makes new music. He's in his 70s. I think he's actually almost 80 or even in his 80s. He's the man. Go listen to these songs. If you don't want to listen to Trollz, it's totally fine. Oh, they're from Texas. Thank you, Harry. So let's move on because we got a nice and juicy set for... What the fuck did I watch? And lead us, lead us, Oscar, with Dave Chappelle's impromptu special in his backyard. Yeah,
first of all, if you try to look for this, it's on YouTube. It's not on Netflix, which is
it's a joint venture. It's YouTube and Netflix. You're right.
Yeah, so I tried to look for it on Netflix, and I'm like, okay, where the hell is it? So then I was able to find it on YouTube, and it's Dave Chappelle, and you would think this is a comedy special, but he's mad. He's mad at what's going on in the United States. I've never seen him this serious ever, and it's kind of weird to see this, but it's also very good to see somebody and what they believe in and how they're affected. Just because they're celebrities doesn't mean that they're not going through it also, And it's only 27 minutes long, but we learn a lot about Dave Chappelle. He goes back to his roots, about his great-grandfather being a slave, Bishop William D. Chappelle. So he just really goes into how this country's fucked up, and how we just have Candace Owens and other people trying to bring down. Yeah. So, what did you think about it, Vince?
I loved it. It was not a comedy special. There was few laughing moments, not even enough to remember, to be honest. Just the stank pussy part. That was great. And he even said at the end, he's like, this is not funny, right? He's like, I have a few pussy jokes I could tell, but I don't think it's appropriate. Yeah. And he was right. He's upset. He said he's living in a nightmare. He's a celebrity. He's a millionaire. He's almost, like, to be honest, the way that Netflix has been paying him, he's probably almost a billionaire. And we talked about this before, LeBron James, another almost billionaire athlete. And this guy still has niggers being posted on his fucking house, his property. Who is letting that gated community let someone do that to him? That's America. America lets racism exist. And even for athletes, even if you're rich, we've mentioned Jay-Z before. He has that song. What is it called? I believe, but the lyrics are still nigger. It's on 444. And it means it doesn't matter how rich you are. Someone is always going to look at you as some lowly black person. And to be honest, for females too, no matter how successful a female is, you're in a boardroom and someone is only going to look at you as like some gender stereotype. They're going to be like, oh, you have cramps and you won't be able to, your hormones, all these dumb shit, high heels, taking off for pregnancy and stuff like that. So men, if you're not part of the white male club, you're always going to be on the outside until we change shit. And Dave Chappelle, like you said, his what was his grandfather or great-grandfather?
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, Mr. Bishop, Dave Chappelle. if you haven't seen the special, real quick to synopsis that part, is that he said that he made a mistake on SNL saying that there was only one black person. Who was the next one? It was Frederick Douglass, and then it was another person after. And in between, that's where he got it wrong, was actually his own grandfather that stepped foot with Woodrow Wilson, President Woodrow Wilson, to complain, to advocate for their friend that was lynched over $30 because he was $30 richer than another white person. And so the white people ganged up on him and killed him. And so his friends and his colleagues went to the White House to advocate for them, and they were former slaves at the time. This is Dave Chappelle. This guy is on stage, and he has a great-grandfather that he's named after that was a former slave that had to go to the president and to tell him, hey, we're not down with you killing someone just because he's black and rich.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. And speaking of which, a lot of people are, when we talk about black and rich, Seneca Village. I don't know if anybody's been seeing that lately. Central Park cleared out the richest area in New York.
Yep.
That was filled with black people to make room for Central Park. So where, if you enjoy Central Park, know that black people, rich black people used to live there, and they used eminent domain to kick them out so that we can make Central Park. Thought you should know that. So on a lighter note, I watched, it's not really that lighter, it's Stephen King. I saw The Outsider. It is starring with Jason Bateman, Cynthia Erivo. She is the person who played Harriet Tubman in Harriet. She is a 2-time Academy Award nominee. She also got nominated for the song for Harriet Tubman. It's really good. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's not very instant rewarding. It's very, it definitely unfolds like a lot of Stephen King. It is also based on a trilogy called Mr. Mercedes, which is based on the Boston Marathon, where those two Chechens bombed the Boston Marathon. So that book series is about a terrorist that drives a bomb that's in a Mercedes van. So that same character is lifted from that universe, and her name is, I didn't write it down, but she or Harriet Bagby or something like that. They take that character and they bring it back into The Outsider, and they actually try to make it more towards the book. So Stephen King, another great adaptation. If you like creepy things, if you like, it gets real creepy, and you don't really know what's happening. And
is it a series or a movie?
It's a series. It's a mini series. It's based off one book of Stephen King, and like I said, and that one book is based off of a detective series that he wrote before that. And he doesn't really write detective series, so he went back to the horror. He went back to the creepiness. But he took a character from that trilogy, the detective trilogy, and he put it in that world of The Outsider. Wow. And it's about this grisly murder of this little boy, and they convict the guy, Jason Bateman, but they figure out that he's at another place at the same time. And they're just like, what the fuck? So you get to figure it out from there. All right. Anyway, so 5 Blood. Nobody watched it yet. We'll get the review from the crew later. But 5 Bloodz is Spike Lee's new movie. It's about these 5 gentlemen that their corporal or their lead commander, Chadwick Boseman, that is also Black Panther. They go back to Vietnam to go find his body remains. And there's also an extra thing they're looking for. I won't blow that up for you. But real quick, my grandmother. White fragility. If your grandmother voted for Reagan, and she's an Irish Catholic, don't watch Spike Lee next to her. Oh, and if she voted for, did I say she voted for Reagan? She voted for Reagan. But anyway, so I was trying to watch Spike Lee, and she basically made it all about her. There's a part, obviously, the famous quote of Muhammad Ali, ain't no Viet Cong called me nigger, ain't nobody tried to lynch me, ain't nobody tried to take my identity. It's true. She got real uncomfortable with these things. Obviously, Spike Lee does not care if you're sensitive to racism, and I'm, like I said, in these days and times, try to watch out for your white grandmother. Don't watch Spike Lee in front of her. It's too much for her.
That's crazy.
Mark Wahlberg, to cap off the what the fuck that I watch, we'll be moving on. Mark Wahlberg, homie almost got away with everybody not knowing that he committed hate crimes. I did not know that until recently.
Yeah, I just learned that this week also, and it's just surprising, you know. You think about how many I started watching Mark Wahlberg in the 90s, you know.
Marky Mark.
Basketball Diaries to the big hit.
Oh, he was really good in that.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on with these people? You know, it's like their true self came out, and yeah, we know that he might not be like that anymore, but still, it's like, come on, it's just horrible to hear.
Yeah, it's a far cry from the Calvin Klein commercials.
Yeah.
So,
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, that's his best role ever. Yes, good job, Harry. You're totally right. That's his best one. Dirk Diggler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Harry, give me some more movies that you like from Mark Wahlberg real quick.
From Mark Wahlberg? Definitely The Departed. That's definitely a good one he was in. He was all right in Transformers.
Okay.
And then him and Will Ferrell. Oh, what's that movie where they're like dads? That movie's hilarious.
Yes, that is Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
There you go.
Daddy's Home. I didn't see the sequel with Mel Gibson, I don't think. Maybe I did.
You're not missing out.
It was good. It was pretty good.
Good. So, Mark Wahlberg, when he was little, he threw rocks at 2 black girls, and he was cited for the school. Obviously, he was expelled, reprimanded, had a criminal record for that. He was really young, so it wasn't like, it wasn't going to stick yet. But then he decided when he was older that he was going to get into a bar fight with 2 Vietnamese people. And then he called them all types of racist names. And he got a civil rights injunction put on him. That is a permanent record of, like, if you did a civil rights violation, that's just on your record for good. And the only reason why people know about this is it wasn't sealed. It's just that he never advertised it and nobody ever really looked. But he tried to seal it. He tried to have it erased. And everybody found out, and then he was just like, "Hey, I tried to get over this all my life." And to be honest, we haven't really seen too many racist notions from him, so I'm not like canceling him or anything like that. But I do think he's wrong for like not acknowledging. And the reason why is because he said Black Lives Matter. He made like a big post about it, and everybody tried to remind him. And if you did anything in the past, and they will remind you, cancel culture will get your ass. So. Let's get on to something we all can talk about. What the fuck did I play? And I did a lot of talking, guys. Let's get you guys on this. The PS5 launch. Talk to me about it, guys.
Yeah, so as we all know, me and Vince, we both have always been on PlayStation, and we finally get to see what the console actually looks like, which is incredible. We've been waiting for a while now, and they're going to have a digital one, and then another one that has 4K CDs, and even you can also buy the physical games. And we were actually talking about this the day that it came out. And me personally, I love to have the 4K DVD player on the PS5, which is going to be incredible because I have a couple of 4K movies that I bought. But, just like Vince said, they're going to become obsolete. We're living in a world where everything is streamable. Everything is digital. I bought so many games just digital where I wouldn't even go outside, and it's just a way to go. So, it's good that we have the option, and it's also something to look forward to for this holiday season.
Nice, Harry. Could you read off the full lineup of games that are going to come out at launch?
Yeah. So we got Astro's Playroom. Not really sure what that is.
Give us a good one.
A good one, Spider-Man. The new Marvel Spider-Man's coming out. Standalone with Miles Morales.
That's right.
So I feel like the first Spider-Man came out was a good retirement for Spider-Man. Like, we're going to end this character and just continue with Miles. Switch it up. Ratchet and Clank is coming back. Huh?
That's right. Good one.
Ratchet and Clank coming back. They also got, what else they got? I didn't really see the special.
They also have Gran Turismo 7.
Click on the link.
I'm looking at it.
No, okay. I remember a couple of games just from watching. They're gonna have Gran Turismo 7. I actually loved Gran Turismo. I grew up playing with my stepdad all the time. Gran Turismo, getting the license, getting to drive real cars. It was just pretty cool. It's a really long game. You have to take into account that you're going to be going from getting your license all the way to racing in Formula One race cars, it's incredible. So I'm looking forward to that. I actually didn't know that this was actually Resident Evil 8 when they were presenting it.
Oh yeah, Village.
Because they didn't give it any notion I did play part 7, Resident Evil 7, and they went in a different direction where it's first person shooter view. I'm actually not a big fan of that.
Me either. They're copying off of Silent Hill now.
Yeah, so will I play it? Yeah, I will. But now they're introducing werewolves in this village, and they're going away from what they were really good at.
You're too dedicated, Oscar. You're like an abused girlfriend over there. Doesn't matter how much Resident Evil beats your ass up.
I gotta stay loyal.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like that with Kingdom Hearts. I've played every single Kingdom Hearts game. Did I beat them all? No, because a couple of them suck.
Yeah.
That's I try to play whatever good game is out. At least I try it, at least. So, ones that we missed real quick. We have Horizon Zero Dawn. That is the Turok kind of game, but except the monsters and the dinosaurs are mechanical. There's in between. There's Frozen Lands, and now they have the sequel that's coming out on PS5. That is Horizon Zero Dawn West.
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. It looks sick. It has a lot of aquatic area to it. That one, the graphics they really showed up for. And to be honest, yes. The Horizon Zero Dawn game originally for PS Pro, which is a waste of money, by the way. I didn't notice that much of the graphic difference. I don't know why I went so hard to get that PS Pro. But anyway, if you want to show off to your friends what a true PS4 game looks like, Horizon Zero Dawn is one of them because it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
So we can move on. I think that's it. I think we had Spider-Man. We had some 2K. I don't fall in love with the 2K stuff until I actually play it because they always do that. They always give the best cut scene for that, and it's never bad, but it's never that good. Yeah. When they do cut scenes from other games and stuff, it's actually more relative to what you're going to see on the gameplay.
Hey man, when we've been playing for about 21 years of the same game, we get little to hear improvements,
Yeah, and yeah. So we can move on. What the fuck did I say? And record privilege. I know we've been getting a little political lately. That's okay. It's a political time. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm joking. Go record privilege, everybody. Now, the original phrase is kind of new. It's called check your privilege. And so when you check your privilege, that means that you are checking the advantages that you have in your life or the disadvantages of your life. So when we say wreck your privilege, we need to fucking burn this the motherfucker down. The system isn't working. And do I like violence? No. But does it work every time? Yes. White people invented the mafia. Italians invented the mafia. Whenever there's organized crime from blacks, it's illegal. Whenever someone's protesting, you can go in Michigan and you can take an assault rifle. If you're a Black Panther, did you know, Oscar, that the NRA has only suggested an assault rifle ban when the Black Panthers came to the Capitol in order to, Oh, yeah, and that was in the 5 Bloodz and stuff like that. That was in the 13th documentary on Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you don't check your privilege, you will wreck your privilege. So you better get on that. Like I said, I was watching 5 Bloodz, and it wasn't just that. I watched many things. I want you to challenge people that say, I don't need to watch something. I lived it. That's not true. Oscar, tell them why that's wrong.
Even if you've experienced something, it's still good to get out there and give somebody an education of what everybody has an experience. Not everybody's going to get pulled over by cops and be racially profiled like you and I, Vince. So you have to speak about these things, and you should tell people it's not just an experience. It's about letting people know what's going on.
Yeah, Oscar, stop getting a tan, man. Everybody's going to think you're black and everyone's going to keep pulling you over. No, I'm joking. Dark hand emojis. Go talk to your white ally, guys. Their fucking hand emoji on their fucking texting and shit like that is way too dark. I got some of these fucking people that are mad white, and all of a sudden they got they're giving me thumbs up with a fucking Nat King charcoal hand. None of that. Stop that shit. All right? Tell your white allies, get the fucking right shade on their fucking emojis.
Oh, man.
Keep on the police. We need to clarify that real quick. That means, because we're running out of time, that means that we're just diverting funds. Now, I want to abolish the police. I have had too many bad experiences. I've seen too many people die where it works. They've been too infected by the KKK. Like I said, the Black Klansman is not the only example. We're not going to repeat that. It's true. They have been in the police for way too long. To fund those motherfuckers, give it to healthcare, give it to education, give it to Social Security, give it to other areas where you don't need the police. If you are enriching the community, if you're enriching the America, we don't need police. Total lack of diversity. Richard Gervais made fun of the infomercial with Aaron Paul, Sarah Paulson. There was a lot of celebrities. And at the very end, obviously, it was silly. It was funny. He was like, where's the diversity? There's a total lack of diversity. And he was right. But they were right, too. Like, you know, we need our white allies out there. It's not enough not to just be racist. You have to be loud about people being racist.
White privilege for black power.
I like that, Harry. So you got anything to say, guys?
That was my thing. White privilege for black power.
That's right.
Yeah, you know.
All right. I like that. All right. Let's do our outro. You can find me on stillvinsane on Instagram. You can find Oslamalo on Instagram. That's his name. Spell it out. We have Harry. He's Jew Baratilio. He's on Instagram as well. We have Thundercat John, like I said, spelled with a K.TTV. We also have NS Comtech. That is our good friend Neil. He helped set up the studio, and he also does a couple of engineering tasks for us as well. He gave me this sweet monitor. If you need your computer upgraded, if you need a new computer, if you need something built, if you want to go buy, he can actually build gaming computers, by the way, and very cheap. One of my cousins, Alex, your cousin, he just got a gaming computer for his graduation present. Shout out to him. So go find us on Keep Up, Shut Up on the Facebook page. Go find us. You can find my fan page on Facebook. It's Stillvinsane also, Stillvinsane3. You can email us at keepupshutup86@gmail.com. If you have anything to say, you can visit stillvinsane.com. We have a Patreon. We have a Twitch. Like I said, we'll be doing live shows from there by the end of the summer at least. Am I missing anything, guys?
That's basically it.
All right.
Wrap it up.
You better shut the fuck up.
Listen up.
And keep up.
With Oslamalo.
And Stillvinsane. Over and out, homies.
Oscar keeps fucking that one up. Keeps fucking that one up.